Authority. Authority may be defined as a power or right to give orders and enforce obedience. Authority therefore gives one the right to command others to obey as duty. The power of authority is derived from one's office and the role the person plays in a given society. Authority, which is on many occasions derived from the consent of the people, commands respect, influence, and confidence. Authority vested on certain individuals through the consent of the people serves as a test of a government's popularity. That is why even the military government tries to legitimize its authority by seeking the consent of the people. In a democratic society, the electorate constitutes the source of power and political authority. So when we talk about authority, is a right, is a mandate given to an individual in order to command both human and resources, and also to enforce obedience. So therefore, authority goes with a lot of respect and confidence, because it's a mandate, a right that is given to an individual or group of persons in order to enforce obedience. And authority is being derived as a result of the position given to that particular individual. That is what we refer to as authority. So if you have the right, the mandate to control the actions and behavior of other people by enforcing obedience, is referred to as authority. Mind you, power might not be a right given to you to give orders and enforce obedience, but when you possess the ability to control the actions and behavior of other people against their own wish or will, you are enjoying what we call power. It might not be a right, it might not be a mandate given to you. So let's look at the types of authority. We have 6 types of authority. The first one is political authority. This power is vested on a group of individuals by the people through a written document, short as a constitution, to make decision and enforce obedience. So therefore, the right to make decision and enforce obedience, which is derived from the constitutions, is called a political authority. We also have what we call coercive authority. These involve the use of force, and its acceptance is out of fear. Examples, you have military and dictatorship government. They are having what we call coercive authority. You also have charismatic authority. This type of authority is based on extraordinary person and qualities of an individual. Of course, you have delegated authority. These authority confirm on a subordinate to exercise certain functions on specific matter. Example, Minister of Education delegated power on the school principal. That is what we call delegated authority. It's also another type of authority. We have traditional authority. This is held by those qualified by tradition. Then of course the last one is a technical authority. This is exercised on one's technical know-how. Short, a person's authority is accepted because he is a recognized expert in the field concerned. So somebody who's an expert in a particular field will also have the right to enforce or to give order and enforce obedience. And that type of authority is what we refer to as technical authority. So let's look at the sources of authority. We have about 3 sources of authority or means of acquiring authority. One, traditional authority. This is from royal families. It is based on exercising customs and traditions of a particular area. Then of course we also have legal authority. This type is derived from a body of rules and regulations governing a given society. Example, the constitution of elected president has a legal authority. Another one is charismatic authority. This is exceptional, unique and special qualities of a person which lead to his acceptance as a leader of his people. Some people, because of their quality, their leadership quality, it can also give them another source of authority. We also have consent of people. The people may decide to enumerate certain person with authority. In most cases, this type does not last for a long time. There are certain people, because of their persuasive, and people may tend to allow them to rule for some time. So they also have what we call consent of the people. So these are the sources or the means of acquiring authority. So let's look at the differences between authority and that of power. The power requires elements of force and sanctions, while in authority there is no application of force. Then also in power, the punishment that goes with it is more high, example death, but in authority punishment is less severe, example discipline. Then of course the fear of sanction compels people to obey power relations, while legal means of the process compel people to obey authority relations. So these are the differences. You look at powers, it requires some element of force, while authority, the application of it, there is no force. In power, it has the punishment that goes with it is more high, and sometimes it is death. But authority, the punishment is less, for example discipline. So let's look at legitimacy. The term legitimacy is derived from a Latin word legitimus, and it means lawful according to the law. Therefore, legitimacy means a situation of being lawful. It may also be said that legitimacy is the general acceptance of the political system as the most appropriate and be in line with the laws of the land. This means acceptance of a political system or an administration because it is in compliance with the laid down rules and regulations. Therefore, a legitimate government is one that is constitutionally elected and is acceptable to the populace. So therefore, when we talk about legitimacy, if a government comes to power through the popular support of the citizens, then that government will be referred to as a legitimate government. That is more the reason why we could not refer to military government as legitimate government, because they are not coming to power in line with the laws of the land, and also there is no acceptance. It's not a general acceptance of a political system, and in as much as they are not coming to power in compliance with the laid down rules and regulations, that is in compliance with the constitution of the state, they will not be referred to as a legitimate government. So therefore, most democratic government, that is government that are coming to power through periodic elections, are normally referred to as a legitimate government. For instance, for the past years, we can refer to the government of Ahmad Yankaba as a legitimate government of the late president, that is 1996, and also Anes by Kuruma as a legitimate government also, and Julius Maada Bio, because all of these, they come to power through popular support or through the laid down rules and regulations of the state. So we refer to those types of government as a legitimate ones. So when we talk about a system that is being accepted generally by the citizens, we can refer to it as a legitimate government. But a system that is not accepted by the citizens will not be referred to as a legitimate government. So that is why many countries across the globe have always tried to ensure that they do not lose public support. But the fact remains is that because legitimacy is saying, especially in democracy, that a legitimate government is one that is one constitutionally elected and is acceptable to the populace. So a situation wherein the government is not acceptable to the populace, then that government cannot be referred to as a legitimate government. So therefore, government has always been trying to ensure that they are being accepted by the state. So let's look at the factors that determine legitimacy. The following are the factors that determine legitimacy.